We've all heard of the protests claiming to be fighting for the Black Lives Matter movement. However, the mainstream media selectively chooses specific clips to show their viewers in order to advance their political agenda while hiding the full, true story. Take a look at this video. Warning, this contains graphic content that some may find disturbing.
This is David Dorn in his very last moments on Earth. He's bleeding to death on a sidewalk in front of a looted shop. He's a former police captain protecting a store.
The video you just watched is the aftermath of the death of David Dorn, a 77-year-old, black, ex-police captain of St. Louis. He died while trying to protect a local store from rioters and suffered a gunshot wound to his torso. Yet, no protesters stepped forth to stop this murder, showing the hypocrisy of these riots and violent protests. They are supposed to be fighting for the Black Lives Matter movement. But David Dorn was also a black life that they killed, yet he did nothing wrong. In contrast, he was helping protect a small business. Did David Dorn's life not matter? Let's look at another video. Warning, this contains graphic content that some may find disturbing.
Today, we found Corboy Bala, who invested his life savings into opening this sports bar, cleaning up. While our camera was there, looters came back to try to steal his safe.
Right, trying to steal the safe!
I don't know what we're gonna do. We're gonna work so hard to get here. So hard.
The video you just watched is the aftermath of KB Bella and his wife's sports bar, which was destroyed by rioters and protesters. He is recorded crying during an interview because he put his life saving into this business that was just destroyed. Yet the protesters and rioters didn't stop there. During the interview, more people came in to destroy the little that was left in the business. But KB Bella's business wasn't the only one suffering this destruction. Countless other business owners suffered the same situations. In all of the United States of America, both small and large businesses were shut down due to COVID-19. Yet, as soon as they begin to reopen, countless businesses are destroyed, leaving many people who lost their life savings and others who will be unemployed for a long period of time. Many who are also black. Did KB Bella's life not matter? Did all of these business owners and employees' lives not matter? Let's look at yet another example. Warning, this contains graphic content that some may find disturbing.
As the mayor mentioned, we've had a lot of violence that has occurred. Many of the people that have been injured due to protester on protester violence. The mayor mentioned this. Last night, protesters intentionally set a fire to an occupied building on Broad Street. This was not the only occupied building that has been set fire to over the last 2 days, but they prohibited us from getting on scene. We had to force our way to make a clear path for the fire department. Protesters intercepted that fire apparatus several blocks away with vehicles and blocked that fire department's access to the structure fire. Inside that home was a child.
The video you just watched is a police officer explaining the event in which rioters and protesters set a house on fire with a child inside. They even went further and blocked the firefighters' access into the house in order to keep their fire going longer. This incident is one of many in which protesters turned violent and decided to burn down and destroy several buildings, including residential areas. Imagine the trauma and fear people felt when they realized their home was being burned down as they were inside. Do these people's lives not matter? Let's look at one last video. Warning, this contains graphic content that some may find disturbing.
Terrifying moment, an SUV drove through a line of police officers in Buffalo. We want to warn you, this is hard to watch, and the officers are going to be okay. The driver hit two officers before speeding around an armored vehicle and taking off. One of the officers hit is a New York State police officer who suffered serious but non-life-threatening injuries. The driver and a passenger are reportedly in custody.
The video you just watched shows protesters driving a vehicle and hitting two police officers in Buffalo, New York. These officers were not engaging in violent activities, but rather trying to protect the innocent people affected by these protests. Yet, the officers were still hit by this vehicle and are suffering from serious injuries. This isn't the only time these protests threatened the lives of police officers. Throughout the several days these violent protests occurred, police cars were set on fire, bricks were thrown at police officers, and several officers were injured. Now, there are police officers that are black as well. And these police officers have families. Do their lives and their families' lives not matter? All of these horrific events happened during the so-called peaceful protests for the Black Lives Matter movement. Yet the media won't show you these incidents because they show the hypocrisy of these violent protesters and rioters who are claiming to want justice for black people. However, they are actually destroying the homes, businesses, and lives of not just black people but residents, workers, and police officers from all races and ethnicities to achieve their political agenda. Do these people's lives not matter?